YouTube, Retro Prime, how goes it? I'm sitting outside my wife's ex-husband's house. We're down visiting the grandparents. They're staying with him while this kind of pandemic is going on, because it's just nice to be close to family for them, and they're too far away to come to us, and we've not really got the space. So I knew I was coming down, and I thought, normally I keep Monday to myself, so the wife and my daughter go down and visit the kids and stuff, and I'll stay at home and do housework. But I was kind of desperate to see the grandparents, so I came down, but I knew I wanted to make a video today, so I brought my camera and some of my toys to talk about in the car. So that's what we're doing now. With these reveals that we've had this week, last week, the Siege movie line stuff, or the Earthrise movie line stuff, and some of the toys that have came out, the G1 fan service and G1 love has never been higher. Now, this is something I thought about when Earthrise Prime came out. It was one of the few toys that I've sold other Transformers to buy, because at the time I never had the cash for it, so I just put some stuff on eBay and you know, made money, because I really wanted it. Because Siege Optimus is so good, so good, that I thought, well, Earthrise has to be better, has to be infinitely better. It comes with a trailer, it's more G1 looking and cab mode and stuff. But when I got it, I wasn't disappointed by any means. It's a fantastic figure. It's actually sitting here. I've got it with me. I'm holding onto my phone to take this video, so if it starts shaking, I'm sorry. Like, awesome toy. And one of the reveals is they're doing the Netflix TV show version of this, and he looks even more cartoon accurate. Like, he's got darker red and like the grey bits in the middle of his legs there are blue and stuff. So, and a few people are a bit miffed, saying they understand repaints, but this is like, it's like they chucked this to get our money, and then they were like, but we know we're going to buy the more accurate cartoon Prime. But with Siege, which I also have here, I love this toy, and because this was so good, I think it had already taken the shine off of Earthrise Prime for me, because for two reasons. One, I'd already had a fantastic Prime, so like the uniqueness of this, because this was the first epic mainline Optimus that I bought. So good. I had this guy. I never touched anything else in my collection for 2 weeks after I got this guy. And then Earthrise Prime came out, and I was like, so it was a bit less of a novelty. But then I realised this guy's got more personality and character than the Earthrise lad. He's obviously looks different because it's meant to be pre-Earth Prime, Cybertronian mode as they call it. And that's when I started to think, maybe G1 is where Transformers started for me. So it started from Mace my age, and it's where the roots of the Transformers comes from. And, you know, it's where it began. If you Diaclone obviously, but you know, Transformers as it is, that's where it started. So obviously, the same with any continuity or family or anything, you always harken back to your ancestors or your roots. And it is one thing I like about Transformers, that Transformers toys, TV shows and movies all have a sort of lineage of history and development and the characters and stuff. But the toys, they gave us, Earthrise gave us a fantastic hoist, well, a decent hoist, fantastic Prime, a fantastic cliff jumper, all these G1 looking figures that we've not had in the mainline toys, certainly for a long time. Some of them we've never had at all. Mirage was awesome. I even liked the Siege Seekers. They were really nice, you know, unique. It's their Cybertronian forms, which we've never really had a Transformer of, if you count third party stuff. But then you get like Earthrise Starscream, who's like G1 accurate, and it's alright, it's good. But these the more they get G1 accurate, the less character they have. Now, when I got Earthrise Wheeljack, I've already got Masterpiece Wheeljack, and I thought, do you know what? Should I buy it? Because it looks decent, but I've already got Masterpiece. Not that I particularly just go for one each sort of guy or girl, and then I'm the character, and then I'm like, that's it, I don't want another one. But when you've got the Masterpiece version of a toy, you think, well, what's the point in buying an inferior version? Because the Masterpiece Wheeljack is absolutely fantastic. But I got them anyway, because the thing about Wheeljack, Masterpiece, and Masterpiece figures in general is they only really go with each other. You can't really stick like Masterpiece Wheeljack in with like your mainline stuff, because his skill doesn't look right, and like he's too good for some of the mainline stuff. So I got Earthrise Wheeljack, and I was like, oh my god, he's decent. He's so close to masterpiece level, quality wise and transformation wise. Obviously, you're like a £14 version. He's not close, but he's getting there. He's closer than any other sort of Wheeljack or mainline Transformers line has got to be in masterpiece. Certainly, I think that's the truth with Siege and Earthrise. But then I started to fiddle him. The Earthrise Wheeljack, pit him with the collection, pit him with the other Earthrise figures, and then I realised I was having more fun with Earthrise Wheeljack than I was with my masterpiece Wheeljack. I never have. And then I started to think about it. I've got maybe, I reckon, 10 masterpiece figures. I've got Grimlock, I've got Optimus Prime or Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. I've got Sideswipe, Sunstreaker, Prowl, Blue Streak, Hot Rod, a couple of I'm never going to list them all. And while they are great toys, and when I opened them, I was gobsmacked with their quality, except for Hot Rod, I don't play with them. I don't touch them. I don't take pictures of them. They just sit in a wee display unit, and then they just kind of are left. Especially when my way of sort of interacting with my collection is when I get 5 or 10 minutes at night, I'm having a cup of tea or a beer, I'll take a toy off the shelf, and I'll go to the games room and I'll be like, oh, I think I'll pick up you and I'll take a few photos, transform you, and never ever look at the masterpiece toys, because I don't know why actually. But when it comes to, and this may be because Earthrise is new and kind of fresh, and you got to remember when I started collecting the mainline, I mean, you had Prime, which was obviously fantastic, but the first G1 fan service that you had was the Combiner Wars line. And while I was happy with that at the time, now Earthrise and Siege makes Combiner Wars look like shit. Have I got any juice in here? Because I'm very thirsty. Aye. So I'm thinking they need to slightly lay off the G1 accuracy and be more creative. Siege Optimus Prime was creative. He obviously looked like G1 Optimus Prime, but he had differences. Things like the Fall and War of Cybertron games, the figures for them, Prime, it was clearly Prime, it was clearly G1 Prime, but it was different and it was unique. It was a certain take on a character, whereas just giving us G1 stuff without any sort of imagination isn't really floating my boat. The toys are great. Cliff Jumper was great. I've not got the only other Cliff Jumper I've got is Prime Cliff Jumper, but he's as far for G1 Cliff Jumper as you can get without him being completely different. And for example, I've got my G1 Bombshell here, and he's absolutely lovely. I love him so much. But then I got Combiner Wars Bombshell first. So he was, as far as I'm aware, he's the first G1 homage that was released for Bombshell. I don't think there was any other mainline Bombshells that were based on the G1 Bombshell. I might be wrong. If I am, leave a comment, because I usually am. But this was an update, so it was fine, and it was fresh and new, and it was cool, and it was, it was decent, a decent toy, a decent update of a toy. But when it comes to people you've got Prime, how many Optimus Primes, G1-esque or the like, have we had in the past year even? Christ, I've got about 4 or something. And each one, Galaxy Upgrade was kind of cool. I got him cheap though, I wouldn't have bought him otherwise, because didn't really float my boat, but I got him cheap and he was worth that. And I do think he is better than the Ultra Magnus version of that mould. Well, the alt mode is anyway. But then you got Siege, which was a good Prime, then Earthrise, and then this was another reason I thought about this conversation. Sorry, this is just a waffly video. What do they call it? Alternate reality or alternate universe Prime, which is essentially dead Prime. Who the fuck wants to play with a dead toy? It's crap, it's crass, it's boring, it's too far into the G1 fan service, and there was no need for it. If they were going to give us a figure like that, they should have given you they could have had the trailer open up and be like the med bay that he sits in when he dies in the movie with his displays and stuff, so you could at least get a sort of scene made up with it. But no, it's just a grey Optimus, grey and monotone? No, monochromed. I don't care, whatever. It's a black and white Optimus Prime with a bit of detail on his face. His little antenna are bent and he's got a bit of damage, but it's no creative. It's just, quick, the G1 fans will love this. And it's almost like, as much as I appreciate G1, I mean, the movies, the 86 movie is amazing, and any toy that I can get that will harken back to that movie and that time, I love. But it can go too far. It can go just a little bit too far, and I think that's what they've done. Bloody roasted. I think that's what they're doing with this new toy line. I think it's overstepped for creativity to just pandering for G1. And while that's great, if you're a collector who's just started collecting as an adult or even as a kid in the past couple of years, then my God, the toy lines that you've got are fantastic. But if you're a collector with a decent backlog and a back catalogue and a decent sized collection, you're going to have figures in your toy collection that actually are so close to the ones we're getting now that they're kind of like would be a waste of money for you. It's alright if you're the kind of person who, like, I know there's people out there who have like one iteration of each character. They usually try and keep them in scale, and then if a new Ultra Magnus comes out, it's better. They sell one on to get the next one, and that I can understand being a good way to do it. But for me, someone who appreciates every toy differently and doesn't need to stick, like, I'm no bothered about scale, and I'm just going to move my hand because it's getting a bit sore. I didn't really need to stick to scale or size or continuity or even just one character pair. It does become a bit like, give us something new. Give us something we've not seen before. Didn't just keep churning out the same toys or the same characters. Give us something we've not seen. I mean, there's plenty I mean, I know that there's the Beast Wars stuff has been hinted at, or maybe confirmed now, I'm not sure. I'm not into Beast Wars, so that's going to save my wallet no end. But for Beast Wars fans, that must be amazing after seeing hundreds and hundreds of blue and red trucks coming out. As well as things like Prime's old enough now, the Prime TV show's old enough now, they could update some of the figures for that. Give us things we've not seen. Crossovers, I hate. I kind of want the Ecto 1 Transformer just because I like Ghostbusters, but all these repainted Optimus Primes, Pepsi ones, which I know again has a history in Transformers, so it's not just a sort of comes anywhere, but the Ghostbuster Optimus Prime Masterpiece, all that kind of stuff. The DeLorean, again, I'll buy it because I'm a cunt, but it's just like it's no, it doesn't come from anywhere creative. I don't think it just comes. I mean, as every business does, but I feel like there could be more creativity. Rather, it feels like it's just driven by let's chuck at stuff that the fans will buy because they're fans of these things. Rather, I mean, I'm really not explaining myself well, but money's always the driving force behind Transformers at the end of the day, unfortunately. But I feel the creativity is being overshadowed by the need to use nostalgia as a way to make money from the community. I don't know. Am I wrong? So, I mean, to summarise why I'm making this video, can you get too much G1? Now, I know there are people who hate the G1, the G1ists, and they think, these folk that just think that just because it's G1 it's amazing. But G1 sells. But can you go too far? Like, what are they going to start giving us? Are they going to start giving us... I can't think of anything, actually. Like, are they going to give us a Spike toy that when you press it, it goes, oh shit, what are we going to do now? Just, Transformers, giving us a toy that was only in one scene ever. I mean, the famous stuff that, like, when you get the green masks for MP Sunstreaker and stuff, that harkens back to favourite episodes of people. That's fine. But is there really anyone out there who was like, do you know what I want? I want a toy that is Optimus Prime's dead body. Give us the Zombie Prime with the arm missing and the half the face missing, and give him to us in the big chair or the ship that he crashes in that episode. That would be fun, because that would be so unique. But just his dead body, especially when it's not like his dead body when it was grey. It's not like he turned grey and then there was one final scene with him losing his colour and he just went grey and died, and it was horrible, and flashbacks to childhood crying. So I don't understand why that toy was made, to be honest. And I certainly don't understand why you got a trailer with it. Anyway, 15 minutes, I'm going to stop waffling. This is a very waffly video. So this is my question to you. Is there such a thing as too much G1? And if so, why? Okay, I better get into my wife's ex-husband house and spend some time with the kids. See yous later. Hey.